Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Lloyd. I am the Deputy Director for Emergency Services in Indian River County. As Hurricane Milton is now getting closer to the Florida Peninsula, the Emergency Operations Center here in Indian River County is at a full Level 1 activation as of 8 o'clock this morning. We intend to continue our operations throughout the night, and we will reassess when Hurricane Milton is making its way away from our coast out into the Atlantic Ocean on how long that activation needs to be. Our citizen information line is open. It'll be open all night until this Emergency Operations Center is deactivated. That number is 772-226-4000. Again, 772-226-4000. There is still opportunity for this storm to make fluctuations on its exact hurricane track. Any track to the south is negative for us. Any track to the north helps us fare better. We do not wish this storm on anybody, but that is the facts that we are facing here with our residents. Our message to Indian River County residents are that please be prepared later on this evening and tonight for potential Category 1 hurricane storm winds. We are guaranteed at this point, based on forecasts, to receive 45 to 55 mile per hour sustained winds and wind gusts of 70 to 80 miles per hour. Higher wind gusts are possible. Another message, very importantly, is that if you live in a vulnerable housing situation, potentially a mobile home, or some type of other vulnerable housing situation, or if you live in a known flood zone, you should consider seeking a safer place to go. And there's still a little bit of time to do that. So with that in mind, we have shelters open in Indian River County for this particular storm. We opened more than what we would normally do, so that way people have a place to go. We also know that there is a large-scale evacuation coming from the West Coast. Right now, Indian River County Shelters has plenty of space. If you are from the West Coast and you are looking for a place to stay, Indian River County welcomes you into our public shelters, and we are here to help you. That's really important that I want people to know. We are here to help you. With that, I'll turn it over to Sheriff Flowers.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for tuning in and listening. And I appreciate all the folks who have been listening to these messages as we've sent them. My message today is that we have been here before. Indian River County has been at a point where we've had high tropical storm force winds, low Category 1 winds. We know how to do this. We know what to do. I appreciate that everybody's been calm, that everybody's been kind. We've been out, we've been watching the parking lots. There's still some businesses open. There's still plenty of gas. There's still some supplies out there. If you're still at a point here at 1:30 in the afternoon where you still need something, there are places that you can go in Indian River County and still get those supplies. But they're going to be closing up shortly. And as the afternoon closes in on us and we get into the evening hours, that's when it's no longer going to be safe. And so the big question that we continue to get is, what about the bridges? Bridges are not safe to cross when sustained winds reach 45 miles an hour. They're not safe to cross when they reach 45 miles an hour. What that means is our first responders are not going to be crossing those bridges. Our ambulances, all of our vehicles are not going to be crossing once it's a sustained 45 mile an hour gust. We'll also be alerting the public. We have now received sustained winds of 45 miles an hour. It's no longer safe to cross the bridges. So for those people who are asking, there's no timeline on it. There's no, we may not receive 45 mile an hour sustained winds. That may not happen here in Indian River County. But if it does, it's more than likely it's going to occur in the overnight time frame, sometime between midnight and 3 a.m., somewhere in there, if it does. So more than likely this will not impact any sort of travel. We don't want people out looking around, just being out. There will be dangers. There will be, with winds, you'll have down power lines, you'll have down trees. Our team will go out and assess that, and sometime tomorrow we will let you know when it is safe to go back out. We continue to work closely with our police partners, chiefs, and local officials. Our administrative offices remain closed until Friday. We have deputies at all the shelter locations. Please bring your important medicines. Please don't bring illegal items. Please don't bring guns. Don't bring weapons. We don't need any of that in the shelters. You'll be safe. We have deputies there. You will have to pass through metal detectors at our shelters. We are making sure that those shelters are safe. We're monitoring all the gas stations and shopping centers. You'll see tons of deputies out there stopping at every one of those places. I'm out there visiting those places. So please be safe while you're out. And again, our 911 continues to be inundated with storm-related calls. Please do not call 911. Please call the storm-related hotline, 772-226-4000. With that, I'll turn it over to County Administrator John Tanic.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just want to thank you all for being out here. Appreciate you getting out the message for us. I just want to take an opportunity to thank everybody that's here helping out in the storm, in addition to our county emergency management team, our fire rescue, the sheriff's department, our local law enforcement. We are fortunate that we have our utilities folks, our public works workers, but we also have a number of agencies, state and federal, that are here helping Indian River County, and we are supported by from United Way, Senior Resource Association, Salvation Army, the Florida Department of Health, the School District of Indian River County, our municipal partners, our local hospitals, the Florida Department of Management, the FBI, FDLE, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the Florida Army National Guard. We also have the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, the Aries and Ceres ham operators, and then FDOT and FPL rather. The point is, it takes a team effort to get this done and to respond to something like this. It's a community, and so we appreciate their support and their assistance. And I'll just reiterate also, at this point in time, county offices will remain closed, you know, today, tomorrow, and we'll assess everything after the storm passes on what's going to happen on Thursday. And we have received word that the schools in Indian River County are closed on Friday. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Chief David Johnson. I'm the Emergency Operations Director for Indian River County, and I just want to say a few words. As I stated yesterday, this is still a monster storm. This is still going to be a Category 4 or 5 when it hits. When it gets here, it'll be a 1 or a 2. So be prepared. If you are needing to be at a shelter, get there now. If you're going to someone's home, get there now. If you're going to stay in your own home, get there and stay there. Driving around during the storm and after the storm is not recommended whatsoever. We want time to get out after the storm to make sure everything is secure and safe before we allow citizens back out. So please stay in your home, stay in the shelters until we clear the roadways of wires, trees, what have you. Also, 911. When the sustained winds reach 45 miles per hour, our units will stay in their house. They will not come out for 911 calls. The dispatchers will take 911 calls. They will put them in a queue for when the winds go back below 45, and they'll be sent back out at that. Those calls will be triaged from most important to least important, and they will be dispatched like that. So just remember, 911 is for emergencies. 772-226-4000 is for storm-related issues, not emergencies. So, thank you.
Very good. We'll take your questions.
I have a question. So if the streets become flooded, should residents just call the storm hotline to get updated on the streets becoming flooded?
Yes, if our residents observe any sort of unusual high floods, please call 772-226-4000, provided that it's not an immediate emergency.
Any mandatory evacuations or anything at this time?
The question was, are there any mandatory evacuations at this time? No, there are no mandatory evacuations for Indian River County at this time. The last count that we have is that we have approximately 354 people in our shelters right now. With the current schools that we have open, we have a little bit over 5,000 capacity spaces. We have room for more people if the need is there.
Other questions?
Yes, currently we have 354 evacuees. That does not include staff that's in the shelter or any sort of medical staff for the special needs. I can give you a list again of the shelters that are currently open. Fellsmere Elementary School, Sebastian River Middle School, Oslo Middle School, the Freshman Learning Center. The Freshman Learning Center 800 wing is for pet-friendly sheltering. And also, the Treasure Coast Elementary School opens our special needs shelter this morning at 8:30 a.m. So they're open, they're operational. We've asked in the past, and we will continue to ask in the future, that people pre-register, but if there is a special needs client that needs to get in there, please just go to the shelter. You'll be triaged, or you'll be kind of scanned or reviewed by the health department to see if you qualify, and if not, they'll be transported to a different shelter. Right now, we're looking at the tropical storm force conditions coming in at approximately 10 p.m., plus or minus 2 hours. That can obviously change as we get a couple more forecasts before the actual landfall and before it starts to come through our area. The time for preparation is getting short. Our recommendation is get your preparations done, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, certainly before sunset, get to where you're going to be that's safe, and let's ride this thing out.
We'll be back with you tomorrow at 1:30 for sure, and if we need to come before the press between now and then for any storm-related issues, we'll give you advance notice before we come out. Thank you, guys. Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here.